Did you know many top CEOs trust their gut feelings to make big choices? Surprising, right? In our modern age, we rely on heaps of data and predictions to make decisions. But these CEOs trust something we can't quantify, their intuition. So what's intuition? It's not magic or a superpower. It's that feeling you get when something doesn't seem right, or when you just know something is good, even if you can't explain why. It's like a tiny voice in your head giving you the green light or warning you about something. In our hectic, noisy world, we often ignore this gut feeling due to information overload. It's like that quiet kid at the party who we need to stop and listen to. Why should we listen? Because intuition is like a compass, guiding us through life's challenges. It's been developed over a long time to help us make snap decisions that can be really important. Here's a cool fact. Albert Einstein, one of history's smartest folks, once said, "The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant." We've built a society that values the servant and has forgotten the gift. So, if Einstein and successful CEOs value intuition, maybe we should too? But intuition isn't just a new idea, it's been talked about in very old holy books like the Hindu scriptures. Hindu philosophy, for example, has always seen intuition as something really important. The Upanishads, which are key texts in Hinduism, describe intuition like a special kind of light, the spark of awareness that helps us understand ourselves. One particular text, the Katha Upanishad, says, "When we're calm and our senses and thoughts are still, we're at our best. This state of calmness and control is known as yoga, and it allows us to see things as they truly are." This means that when our mind is peaceful and our senses are quiet, our intuition, or this special light, becomes more clear, leading to wisdom. It's like turning down the noise on a radio to hear the music clearly. But this idea isn't found only in Hinduism. Intuition is important in many other spiritual traditions as well. In Buddhism, for example, intuition is seen as a deep understanding that comes when meditating deeply, leading to enlightenment or nirvana. Even in Christianity, intuition has a place. The Apostle Paul, in a letter he wrote, said, "For those who are led by the Spirit of God are God's children." This could mean that following our intuition, our inner guidance, can help us spiritually. Islam too values intuition. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Search for what makes you happy, for that's where the intuition of the believer is." This means that happiness, a deep, intuitive feeling, can guide us towards truth and our goals and success in the material world. So all these spiritual traditions suggest that intuition isn't just a guess or a feeling in your stomach. It's a powerful force that can guide us towards wisdom and spiritual gains. It's like a compass, pointing us in the right direction, helping us navigate life. So, as we can clearly see, intuition has been considered a powerful tool for a very long time. But wait, aren't we supposed to make choices using logic? Well, we often think that's the only way to make good choices. But let's think about it. No pun intended. When it comes to making choices, we use two things: our gut feeling and our brain's thinking. Imagine them as two dancers moving together in your mind. Sometimes one dancer leads, and sometimes the other. The dance is best when they work together. Without both dancers, we wouldn't have near as great a performance, would we? The interplay adds much more to the show. Just like using our intuition and thinking to give our greatest performance possible. Now, let's look at some interesting facts. A research study found that business owners who trusted their gut were 20% more successful than those who only used logical thinking. Another study from the world of chess found that the best chess players often make their most excellent moves based on their gut feeling, which comes from lots of practice. These gut decisions are made super fast, faster than our brains could ever hope to do. Now, this doesn't mean we should forget about using our brains. It's very important for thinking about the outcomes of our choices, making plans, and understanding complicated ideas. It's just that sometimes our gut can see things and make connections that our brain doesn't notice. Think of it like this. Our gut is like a super creative artist, making awesome things from random stuff. Our brain, on the other hand, is like a careful museum worker, looking closely at each piece and deciding where it goes in our mind's museum of choices. So, it's not about choosing between our gut and our brains, but rather using both together. They're not enemies, but teammates, each bringing their special skills to the choice-making process. Maybe the key isn't to ignore our gut, but to learn how to use it together with our brains. Just like the dance we talked about before, the best choices are those that balance what our heart feels and what our brain thinks. It's all about learning to dance with our gut feeling and our smart thinking. So how can we make the best use of this powerful tool? Let's jump right in. Growing your intuition isn't a weird, confusing thing. It's about building a strong bond with yourself and the world around you. The first step? Be quiet. Yes, you heard it right. Quiet. This might seem odd in our loud and rushed world, but when it's quiet, we can hear our inner voice. So find some time every day to just chill. You could meditate, take a quiet walk, or just sit in a calm spot. As someone with ADHD, I know how sitting still and quiet can feel akin to having your nerve endings blow-torched, twisted and braided. But with time, it only gets easier. We call this sitting quiet and still meditation. After we finally still ourselves, we should listen to that little voice. What some call your gut feelings. You know, those moments when you just know something but can't really say how. Those are your intuitive signals. Start noticing them. Don't ignore them, even if they don't make sense at first. Over time, you'll start catching these signals more. Now let's throw in a bit of mindfulness. By being in the moment, you're more likely to pick up on the small signs that your intuition is trying to tell you. Whether you're cleaning dishes or chatting with a friend, try to be fully in the moment. Also, start writing a journal. It's like talking to your intuition. Jot down your thoughts, feelings, and any intuitive signals you get during the day. The more you trust your intuition, the stronger it will become. Better how your intuition talks to you. Finally, trust yourself. This might be tough, but it's really important. Over time, you'll see patterns and understand that intuition is all about trust. Trust in yourself and trust in the process. Remember, intuition is different for everyone, so don't compare your progress with others. What works for them may not work for you, and that's okay. And remember, growing your intuition takes time, so be patient and keep going. The payoff? Well, it's totally worth it. Remember, just like learning to ride a bike, intuition takes practice. So, begin today, and let your intuition guide you on this awesome journey. Trust me, it's an adventure worth going on. It's like having God or the higher self guiding you every time you ask for it. So we're going to go over what we've learned about intuition. We've looked into the very heart of intuition, that little voice inside our head, a push from the universe, that strange feeling in our belly. It's like a built-in guide, silently leading us through life. We've talked about how different religions talk about intuition. For example, Hindu texts say that intuition is a way for the divine to talk to us. But it's not just in Hinduism. All around the world and throughout history, religious texts have mentioned intuition as a source of inner wisdom. Then, we looked at the difference between intuition and logical thinking. It's a bit like walking on a tightrope, isn't it? On one side, we have our gut feelings, and on the other, our logical, thinking mind. We've learned that we don't have to pick one or the other, but use them both together. Intuition and logical thinking are like two pieces of the same puzzle, helping us make decisions. We've also explored how to develop our intuition, like exercising a muscle. Meditating, being mindful, being creative, and paying attention to our dreams can all help. Remember, intuition is not a magic trick or a crystal ball. It's like a deep pool of wisdom that takes time and practice to reach. We found out that intuition isn't something mysterious or only for spiritual experts. It's a part of us, as natural as breathing, as human as feeling emotions. And when we realize how important it is and learn to use it, intuition can be a powerful helper when making decisions. So the next time you have a tough decision to make, don't forget to listen to that little voice inside. Who knows? It might just lead you to something amazing.